Там уже нету.
Да, какой-то свадьбы.
Нет, там нету презентации.
Вот сейчас.
Да.
So, sorry.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Can you help us? How to return to presentation?
So actually,
It's a second.
it's the extended screen.
Do we have the one more for you?
Так, а как сделать на весь экран?
Там на весь экран.
Place in the system of public self-governance. The International Cardion Council forms the steps of manifestation for the disclosure of the spiritual path of the person. The esoteric essence of the International Coordination Council can be seen in the model of the system of public self-government in the three circles of the system development. The International Coordination Council corresponds to the circle of Manas stage of discipleship enlightenment. Expansion of consciousness and comprehension of the values of the brotherhood, building relationships on the principle of human life and equality before God. We also develop in three circles of life. Manas, body manifestation of International Scientific School of Universology. Buddhi, we are active in serving and interacting with the world around us. We are the breath of International Scientific School of Universology. Atma, we become creators and bring novelty and transformation to the world. We are the heart of International Scientific School of Universology, and we guide men through the stages of discipleship in three circles of development. Form the aspiring disciple to the path of service, to the permanent image of the teacher of the heart of the disciple. The stage of team development, a co-creation to the higher and aspiring person, building a unified energy system and three levels. No person can travel the path of personal growth without working in a team. At this stage, one builds a cordial relationship with a person. We get to know his interests and help him discover values for the world. We include them in specific activities related to professional and spiritual development. There are three stages of team development. A group of people inspired by a common idea is formed. This is the international and impermanent unity of people in which there is no hierarchy in the structure of the relations. People come together for a common cause, but goals remain individual. Expansion of consciousness. We built a system of monitoring and keying into the common affairs of the hierarchical collective. This is where the individual form their collective cause, which develops the individual, the team, and the larger system. The exchange of results, the achievement, the building of the city of the future. The three The human consciousness opens, and in the collective field, the birth of collective consciousness, the expansion of the consciousness on the universal human planetary and stellar consciousness. Concentration and synthesis of flowers. A person with results of his team's activity is included in the system of public self-government of the system of the future development. He exchanges team achievements with other teams of like-minded people in common collective co-creation. A person transitions to the next stage of spiritual growth on the path of discipleship is the possibility of inclusion in the permanent collective co-creation corresponding to the circle of Buddha. Exchange of results of achievement. System of public self-government contractions of the cities of the future and civic centers. This is how the human consciousness opens, and in the collective field, the birth of collective consciousness, the expansion of the consciousness on the universal human planetary and stellar consciousness. Our system of the future. According to the principle of building unified energy system of the basis of collective strategy, spiritual groups are begin created. Our layer centers are located all over the world. Pay attention to the geography of the area of activity our groups for Baikal, Western Europe, USA, Israel. On the territory from Belarus to Baikal, 16 cities of the future based on system of public self-government have been built. Vibration passport. Our international energetic structure, the system of hierarchical formation. Each collective occupies according to its place and role in free circle of development of the general system of international evolution movement. Our whole system is life and in constant development and integration with the world. This is rhythm and persists our activities form. There are 3 stages of team development. A group people of inspired by a common idea is formed. This is the international and impermanent unity of people in which there is no hierarchy in the structure of the relations. People come together for a common cause, but goals remain individual. Что-то я не то рассказала. In order to guide people through stage of discipleship, to help them realize their purpose and find opportunities of co-creation. We hold courses on the study of the path of spiritual development, saint symbolism, the study of destiny, the education of the leader in a collective strategy. International Coordinating Council Axel Corcus. The path of spiritual development and the new era. The science of destiny, science of change, symbolism of success. Destination in the new era. Leader in the new age. We invite to you cooperation in forming a new human haplogroup aquatic and building city of the future. Thank you.
So the next presentation is by our research associate who is working with us. Her name is Anushri and she will be speaking about nuclear motivation.
Good evening, all. Am I audible? Okay. Before I started to my presentation, I want to share something. It was very interesting. During today's lunch time, I had talked with Miss Mariana, and she said like this.
Yeah. If you can stand on that.
Okay. No, it's okay. Okay. So what happened? She said, you know one thing, why we are very much interested in India? Because India is cradle of humanity. Isn't it? Yeah. So, I proudly say one thing, India is not only the cradle of humanity, it is the cradle of spirituality also. Okay. So because our ancestors from Vedic period, we are following these kinds of spirituality in all our life. We have a lot of values. Still now also, we are following. If you are just going through our education system, you can see that. So, my topic is, and also she said one thing also. You know, in India there are a lot of languages. How you can manage? Because, yeah, that's true. In North India also we have Hindi and different dialects. And South India, if you go, there are a lot of languages like Telugu, Kannada. If you guys are in Bangalore, might be most of people are speaking in Kannada. And Malayalam, lot of languages are like this. You know one thing? This is why India is very beautiful country. We are in unity in multiplicity. We are already integrated people. Okay. So my topic is Universal Integral Multi-Level Education Paradigm, an analysis on Sri Aurobindo's integral education curriculum through the lens of Aurovilla model. How many people visited Aurovilla in Pondicherry? Can you please raise your hand? That I know. Aurovilla.
Pondicherry. Anyone visited in Pondicherry? Or they will visit after this?
After this, yeah. After my presentation, this is not a presentation. Okay, we are going through a field visit through this verbally, this presentation. So after this, if you wish to visit Aurovilla, please visit. You can understand what is universalism, what is unity, and it's a live experience. Okay. So my topic, is this. So I'm just starting. Integral education as proposed by Sri Aurobindo. Actually, my mentor, my guide, Professor Sampathant Mishra sir already mentioned who is Sri Aurobindo, who is mother, and also Astarji mentioned what is Sri Aurobindo's education. So no need to much more explanation regarding all those things. Okay, so extends beyond the spiritual realm to encompasses the rational, vital, and physical dimensions. It strives for the evolution of the individual nation and ultimately the universal humanity. The genesis of this presentation lies in a field visit for Integral Humanism Initiative project to Aurovilla. Aurovilla is a unique city in Pondicherry known for its universal culture and experimentation with integral multi-level education. Born from the Vaishnavi ideals of Sri Aurobindo, Aurovilla stands as a laboratory city conducting ongoing research to enhance the universal integral multi-level education of man into spirit, embracing the principle of being a global space beyond national boundaries. Aurovilla exemplifies a universal town where diverse individuals coexist harmoniously. So the objective of this presentation is to critically analyze the integral education curriculum through the lens of Aurovilla model. By exploring the practical application of integral education in the widest sense, the study aims to contribute to the ongoing discourse on educational paradigms, emphasizing the significance of holistic development and spiritual evolution in the contemporary context. Ultimately, this presentation seeks to highlight the potential transformative impact of universal integral multi-level education on humanity's collective journey towards a harmonious and enlightened future. So, what is integral education? See, these are the elements of integral education: psychic, physical, mental, spiritual, and vital. Okay, so which means integral education as envisioned by the mother and Sri Aurobindo regards the child as a growing soul and helps him to bring out all that is best, most powerful, most innate and living in his nature. It helps the child develop all facets of his personality and awaken his latent possibilities so that he acquires. That means a strong, supple, healthy, beautiful body and a sensitive, emotionally refined, energetic personality, a wide-ranging, lively intelligence and will, and the last one is the subtler spiritual qualities that unify the harmonious, the being around the child's inmost truth or soul. Then, a brief sketch on Aurovilla. Next slide. No, next. Again, next. No. Aurovilla, a universal township in the making, aims to accommodate 50,000 individuals from diverse backgrounds worldwide. The concept of Aurovilla, envisioned as an ideal township dedicated to an experiment in human unity, originated with the mother as early as the 1930s. In the mid-1960s, the concept gained momentum and was present to the government of India, which endorsed it and brought it to attention of the General Assembly of UNESCO. In 1966, UNESCO unanimously passed a resolution commending Aurovilla as a project of global significance, offering its full support. So the primary aim of Aurovilla is to realize unity amidst diversity. Today, Aurovilla stands as the first and only internationally endorsed ongoing experiment in human unity and the transformation of consciousness in India. It also actively engages in research and practices related to sustainable living as well as addressing the future cultural, environmental, social, and spiritual needs of humanity. And what does Aurovillan approach? So a defining trait of Aurovilla lies in the inclination of individual arriving with specific professional background and training to embark on alternative paths aligning more closely with their personalities. So this transformation proves and not only more fulfilling for the individuals themselves but also more beneficial for society. Many of the ongoing activities across various domains such as education, art, business, afforestation, farming, social work, alternative technologies and architecture have evolved through a dynamic process of discovery and learning. So Aurovilla's present reality is a testament to this perpetual educational journey wherein the implementation of previously acquired knowledge is as crucial as the continual acquisition of fresh insight and skills. It's called unending education and constant progress. So, what are the schools in Aurovilla? As part of our field visit, we visited some of schools in Aurovilla. Aurovilla's educational journey began with a paradox when the mother named the first school in Aurovilla. The first school's name is La School. Okay, and following this, she assigned equally unconventional names after school. First one is La School, then after school, then super school and no school. Okay, so sequentially presented. These names provoke creative through implying that the desired education transcends the conventional school formula. So when considered alongside the Aurovilla Charter second article, this suggests that schools can be surpassed as the entire city transforms into an expensive campus of perpetual education and progress. So the central question then raises, how can programs and methods be devised to surpass the current school system and fulfill the true purpose of education, the development of consciousness in individuals? Aurovilla's educational mission is distinct. It seeks not to produce citizens tailored for a faltering system, but to foster the emergence of individuals capable of consciously constructing themselves on authentic foundation. Simultaneously, these individuals contributing to building a new world characterized by inclusive coexistence and shared objectives. And what are the Aurovilla's education philosophy? That means nurturing integral development. There are some points. First one, preparation for uncertain future. That means building resilience. And second one, cultivating a culture of synthesis, embracing harmony. Then third one is dialogue across cultures, promoting understanding and harmony. And fourth one is economic paradigm shift, prioritizing education and progress. And last one is justice and conflict resolution, fostering healing and understanding. Then last one is collective governance rooted in synthetic knowledge and experimentation. So these are the common things. Then what about special care needed children? We didn't think about that thing. But in Aurovilla, you can see that also. Okay, so integral education offers a holistic approach to the education of children with special needs, recognizing and embracing the unique challenges and potentials of each individual. In the context of special children, integral education goes beyond traditional academic learning to address the diverse aspect of their physical, emotional, intellectual and spiritual development. Such kind of a school is there. It's called Deepam school. Deepam means light, lamp. Okay, so situated as a therapy-based day support center for children with special needs in the villages around Aurovilla, embodies the essence of Sri Aurobindo and Mother's integral education through its holistic approach to nurturing these children. Despite their challenging backgrounds, Deepam strives to provide a nurturing environment where every children can flourish and reach their full potential. So for that, they are offering comprehensive care and support, then individualized therapies, occasional training and practical skills, and daily living skills and responsibility, and celebrating festivals and nurturing happiness. So I just summarized my presentation. Actually, the most pivotal aspect of Aurovilla lies in the orientation towards dedication to shaping the future. In a world increasingly devoid of new perspective and hurtling towards an unsustainability future, Aurovilla stands as a beacon of unending education and perpetual progress, fostering a higher and purer consciousness palpable in its atmosphere. This experience holds the potential to be disseminated further through increased capacity to host diverse workshops and learning activities across various domains of excellence. So, Aurovilla as a heaven committed to inventing the future hold insights for those seeking new paradigms. Thank you.
We continue our work and are very glad to announce the next presentation. Vladimir Yitsenko thanks for the promotion and opportunities which open
He will set here from the Zoom.
Yeah, so this will catch the voice.
working and organize this conference. Vladimir Yitsenko, master degree in general and theoretical linguistic and Sanskrit language and literature from Peterburg State University and PhD in Indian philosophy from University of Baroda.
Can we show? Sorry. Can we show the screen? Can I see it here?
Yes, sir, we hear you. We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
How much time? We have 15 minutes, the time for our speakers. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
The group. Sorry?
Yes, sir. Please go on.
It was a group of scholars and researchers. We started in a Verite community with Bhavana, Aurelio, Manoj, and there was one more person joining from France, and Rudolf, and with Rod Hamsel and myself, we started this group, which was called University for Human Unity. By the way, I must mention this, that Mother called the whole Our Will project as University for Human Unity first. So it had to be a university where all the activities were to be educational. And so we decided to start this project, and it was very interesting because we wanted to involve the faculties of consciousness, as we call them at that time, and we call them even now, and the varieties, the 12 qualities of the Mother's symbol, as you know them. So these two fundamentals, sorry, 1 second.
Bad connection.
Yes, and so this idea of having two elements in the IPK is integral paradigm of knowledge, is development of the faculties or technologies of consciousness, which includes our senses and our faculties such as seeing, hearing, speaking, thinking, and being in the body and feeling emotions, so all the constituents of our functionality, what we call the technologies of consciousness, how we function as a machine, and the other part was the variety, so the qualities of the Mother, which are very different from seeing, hearing, and sincerity is not seeing, hearing is not knowledge and so on. Yeah, that was the feedback from the microphone on the stage. So this idea came from the Vedic understanding of education, or how we function as human beings. In the Veda, it is mentioned that our constitution is built on two major approaches of Dvipad and Chatushpad. Dvipade, Chatushpade. And it's quite interesting because Dvipad is understood as human being and Chatushpad, the person on four legs, as the animal. And it's usually translated in this way. But Sri Aurobindo gives it totally different translation or interpretation. He says Dvipad is more the connection of the soul and the universal soul, individual and universal soul. And Chatushpad is the four levels of our existence till the transcendental. So we have physical, vital, mental, and supramental, and that is Chatushpad. And on the level of Chatushpad, the whole nature evolves. Yes, nature evolves from the physical formation to the vital, living plants, animal kingdom, and then to the mental beings, human beings. And there is, in the future, new stage of development, supramental beings. So this is Chatushpad. And there the faculties of consciousness are evolving, becoming more and more capable of expressing the spirit. So this was the approach. The whole Upanishads, which we discovered, were built on this approach of the faculties of consciousness. When Bhrigu, son of Varuna in Taittiriya, asks Varuna about Brahman, he hears the answer, Annam, Prana, Chakshu, Shrotram, Mano, Vacham, iti. So there are 6 major faculties, that is matter, physical body, prana, vital body, all our emotions, all our sensations, feelings. This is the vitality, our torso, and manas, vach, seeing and hearing. Yeah? So this is the whole spectrum of our activities as the machine, as the machine of nature, as a technology of consciousness. So consciousness operates through seeing and hearing, speaking, thinking, feelings, and being in the body. So this is our kind of biological or spiritual machine, and these faculties are perfectly described in the Upanishads, where they are coming from, what they are. They are all generated from the universal Purusha, who was kind of sacrificed for the sake of manifestation of the divine. And all his faculties came out of him one by one. His mouth broke forth, from his mouth speech, from the speech flame, fire. And one by one his nostrils broke forth, from his nostrils breath, from the breath wind. His eyes broke forth, from his eyes the sight, the seeing, from the seeing the Surya, the Aditya was born, the sun, the light came into being. His ears broke forth, from his ears the hearing, Shrotram, from the hearing the space came into being, the directions. Now if you look at this, you will see that the space, the light, all the universal kind of constituents came into being from the need of Purusha to see, to hear, to speak. So all these bigger cosmos, macrocosm, came from the necessity of microcosm to realize himself in this manifestation. So this is quite amazing, because we, all individual beings, share the universal faculties of consciousness. We all have seeing, we all have hearing, speaking, thinking, we all. Even animal kingdom, even plants, they all try to communicate through these faculties. These are the major faculties of consciousness. Shubhendu says there are only three major. It is seeing, hearing, and touch. We access our reality through three major faculties of consciousness. We either see, seeing is apprehensive cognition, recognizing of something as different from something else. Comprehensive cognition is hearing, understanding what it is and how it relates to all other constituents. And finally, the touch. The touch combines both of them. So this is a very interesting and complicated issue of our faculties and our consciousness. We usually speak of consciousness as something existing by itself and operating by itself. This is a very mental idea, which is far from the truth. Consciousness is much more concrete. And the Upanishads never speak of consciousness as something abstract. It's not a concept, it's not a notion or something, idea. It is a concrete presence of the spirit through these faculties. So consciousness operates only through faculties. So there is a seeing consciousness, there is a hearing consciousness, or consciousness apprehending and comprehending. There is consciousness of expressing itself, the word. The word can be not only vocal word, it can be any expression, any communication done by the body, by the word, by the gesture, by silence. Many ways we communicate. There are many languages, body language. So languages are many, expression of consciousness is one through these languages. That's amazing. So, and that is the word. And how we communicate, how we express ourselves. So Yes, I'm not making any projection of the screen. 15 minutes is impossible for me to make a projection. But what I want to ask, unfortunately, I will only show something what we came to at the end. I know you are all in a hurry, but truly speaking, to even understand, to even approach this topic, as it should be approached, and not just list the things, what are there, and then just don't understand. This is important. I would rather communicate to you something which is important in my view, so that you would understand the difference between the functionality of consciousness. Consciousness is not an abstract notion, and the verities, which is a very important part of. Verities is something else, altogether different. The 12 qualities of the mother, such as sincerity, humility, gratitude, and so on. And these are the powers of the soul. These verities belong to what I was mentioning before, dvipad. Dvipad is double connection. So, of the soul and the universal soul. This is something which is bypassing, so to say, or not taking into account the technology of consciousness. So, technology of consciousness is chatushpad. On each level, on physical, vital, mental, and supramental, we have these faculties. We have seeing and hearing. Seeing is found on all the levels, from the supramental to the physical. On the physical, these are eyeballs, eyes. On the vital, there is a vital seeing, what we see, things in our dream state. On the mental, there is a mental conceptual seeing, philosophical seeing. On the supramental, there is drishti, the direct revelation of the truth. And so seeing on all the levels, speech, the word on all the levels. It is known from the Kashmirian Shaivism, yes? Paravak is the supramental word. Word, the power which manifests the worlds. And then it comes to us as Pashkentivak, as the speech which is like a flash or lightning of intuition, which tells us what to do, what to express, what to say. And then this flash or lightning or aha moment, I know what to do, is dressed into some particular language, either body language or verbal language, and then it is communicated as vicary physical speech when we speak with our physical apparatus. So all the faculties on each of these 4 levels, chatushpad, these faculties are present and activated. So this is one part. But the other part is the verities, sincerity. What is sincerity? What is the humility? And they are not seeing and hearing and speaking, but they are the qualities which make these faculties function properly. Yes, if I am sincere in my speech, if I am sincere in my thinking, if I am sincere in my feelings, then these become multiplied, these become powerful and effective in their realization. So this is the whole issue. So how to combine these two? How to educate the human being in these 2 fundamental approaches. One approach is the faculties, how to make every human being capable of speaking and being conscious of one's speech, thinking and being conscious of one's thought, feeling and being conscious of what you feel and what you want to feel. You can consciously choose your thoughts, your feelings, your words. This being conscious of your functionality is the biggest part of IPK. And for that we need these verities. to be sincere, to be humble, to be grateful, to be aspiring, to be receptive, to be courageous, to be generous, to be equal to all the phenomena, and to be in peace. So all these major faculties and verities constitute the major two approaches to IPK, or integral paradigm of knowledge. Now, if I have a minute, I will, well, I don't have a minute most probably, I can project to you what we were doing as a group. So these are the development of IPK. So, about thinking. Thinking is the first faculty which we have to develop. And here, what is to be improved, what thought skills do we need to develop and improve, is first of all concentration. Concentration of the mind, or silencing the mind is the next, which is absolutely necessary for concentration. Brainwave activity control. There are new things which are already doing this. There are many devices, we tried them out. Thought management by will, it has to be trained, and it's training mental will. Thinking frameworks, which have to be covered. Rational thinking, logical thinking, dialectic, analytic, synthetic, pragmatic, systematic, strategic, tactic, wide-scale, holistic, divergent, convergent, conceptual, symbolic, creative, and intuitive, and so on. There are many frameworks, there are many ways of engaging the mind. And to be aware of them, to be able to shift from one to another, this is a big part of the IPK. Memory development, it's a big part of mental development, visual, oral, verbal, and so on. Widening the mental consciousness as a way to improve the capacity of memory. This is what Mother says: if you want to improve the capacity of memory is mental memory, you have to widen the consciousness. And once you widen, the memory becomes much more effective. Speeding thinking, syntactic semantics, archetypal thinking, state of mind, openness, receptivity, these are already the verities. Yeah? To be open and receptive in the mind, flexibility, plasticity, and so on. So what kind of disciplines are needed for improving these thinking skills? Yoga, first of all. Yeah? Discipline of concentration, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana. These are from Yoga Sutras. Meditation, widening, heightening, deepening movement of consciousness. Mindfulness, vipassana, guided meditations of different kinds. Psychological approach to knowledge, what we call as the improvement of mental consciousness. Because the mind has one capacity, and that is the major functionality of the mind, is the capacity to hold to any object of sense and to keep it in the focus for consciousness to perceive it, to know it. Yeah? It holds it. It has the power of holding. So all kinds of other developments could be used to develop this skill. Mathematics, chess, mind games, programming, and so on. So for each of these, we develop the whole kind of list of things what we need, how to develop seeing, sight, what are the skills necessary and what the engagements in the educational programs. For hearing, comprehensive cognition, and for word. So I cannot cover in 15 minutes anything of the kind, but I'm just telling you that this is possible to do. We can focus on these elements and develop them totally. Even the body has to be totally developed in this regard, become more and more conscious and flexible. Yeah? So there are many sports. Mother insisted on sports in Auroville and especially in the ashram. They were doing all the sports. Sports were a very important part. The development of the consciousness of the body. So here I will stop. Will not take more of your time.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. Wishing that our thank you, Vladimir.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you, Vladimir. We hear your presentation. We think that many different questions for our discussion of new education appear in our work, and thank you very much. I think we will be in contact with you for a long time in our research work. As you and now we have one presentation of our colleague from the center. And please.
Yeah, so he's Nilab Kumar Sharma and he is a research associate in the Center for Human Sciences, Rishikesh University. And we all work together as a team, research team, and we are looking after many projects related to these topics. And we are working with Professor Sandan Mishra. So, Nilab.
So thank you, Akhil Bhaiya, for introducing me. Don't worry, I won't be having any presentation here. And I don't have any intention to bore you. I will just take 5 minutes of your time. So the topic for today's discussion that I chose is Vedic Siksha. And I want to present it as a timeless pedagogical approach. So what is Siksha? Siksha as a word literally translates in the colloquial sense that we use it. It translates to training. And any kind of training could be called Siksha. I mean, getting Siksha in sports, suppose cricket, getting Siksha in music, anything, you name it. And this particular sense is not new. Though it is being used today in that sense, it is not new because we can see the references back in the Mahayana Buddhist texts and also earlier in the Vedic times. But what is important to note about Siksha is the Vedic sense in which it is used. As we know, the Vedas are a collection of text. So we have the Rig Veda, the Sam Veda, the Yajur Veda and the Atharva Veda. But the Veda, so to say, are not just these primary texts. Okay, the text of Rig Veda is not just the Veda. It has other parts also. So these parts are called Vedanga. It's a compound word made of two words, Veda and Anga. Anga means body part. So the entire body part, when combined together, is called the Veda. In that, the first component is called Siksha. And this Siksha is used in the particular sense of training in phonetics. So when we refer to Siksha as a domain of learning in the Vedic Gurukuls, it refers to the science of speech sounds. And it represents one of the 6 Vedangas, as I mentioned. And this discipline was developed by our rishis to carry forward the texts in the oral tradition, so that every person, every child who is getting in the Gurukul to learn this could articulate and interpret these sacred texts without losing the meaning in any way. So I would just want you to watch this video, small video. Won't play it for long because it's a very musical thing, but let's listen to these kids.
Full कर दीजिए.
Full.
Visual.
So I think this would be enough for the point that I want to make. If you see here, there are 4 children sitting here. If we say what is clearly noticeable about them, if we can have 2 things that we can clearly notice. Don't worry, we can be politically incorrect also, pointing out their races. All of them belong to the different race. But one thing is common, that the pronunciation of every child when they utter this mantra is the same, almost the same. Okay, and it becomes, very interesting when there are many people sitting here. And when we speak in English, all of us have a different sort of a pronunciation. But what is happening in these Gurukulas, where everybody coming from different parts of the world, not just India. Even in India, if you go from Bihar to UP to Jharkhand, they all speak Hindi, but the Hindi will change. Okay, the intonation, the way of speaking, the words, everything will change. But what is important about this method of teaching is that it carries forward the text in, so to say, the original form. So to understand this, let's delve further that what are the components of this Vedic system of Siksha. So the first thing that comes into play is the sound. So the training of the sound is very important here. So if you refer to the alphabets of, the English alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or the Persian ones, there where we have the letter Hamza, which is pronounced as Z or Z. So we see that the way the name of the letter is not actually the pronunciation of that letter. Okay, so we have the A, but it will be pronounced as A, or we have B, it will be pronounced as B, C, somewhere K. If you are an Italian, you will pronounce it as Ch, maybe. So the same letter has different pronunciation when it enters into a different domain, so to say, or culture. But in the Devanagari script, the important thing to note is that the name of the letter is actually the pronunciation of the letter. So you have A, I, U. So in any language, if you use in Bhojpuri or say Magahi or Hindi or Sanskrit, the pronunciation of that letter will be the same. Okay, so this is the first thing, that the sound system is common. Second thing about component of the Siksha is the rhythm. We can have the low pitch or the high pitch sound. So every mantra is, they are trained in reciting these mantras even to the level of the pitch, because when we utter a sentence, it's not just the written words that give the meaning. It's also the how you pronounce it, what is your intention behind it, the length of the sound, the strength, whether